If you sell anything online, you know that feeling, right? That little bit of dread. A customer is all set to buy, and then you get the message, hey, can I get a discount? It's a battle that can really chip away at your profits and, honestly, your confidence. So today, we're going to break down how you can build a brand that's so strong, the negotiation on price never even comes. So, how do you do it? How do you make your price basically non-negotiable? Well, the secret isn't some clever sales tactic or a magic script. No, it's about changing the entire game. It's about building a brand that attracts people who value what you're offering way more than they value saving a few bucks. Okay, so to stop all this price haggling, we first have to get to the root of why it happens so much online. And it all starts with this massive shift in how customers even find you in the first place. The old rules for getting foot traffic, they're totally obsolete. Just think about it for a second. In the physical world, if you had a shop in a prime location, like a busy mall, you were pretty much guaranteed to get customers walking in. But online, that advantage just vanishes. You're just one store on a digital street with literally millions of others. And that creates this super competitive environment where everybody's fighting for the exact same eyeball. So how in the world do you stand out? Well, you could cross your fingers and hope something you make goes viral. But, that's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. You could also just pay for ads, but that's getting more expensive and a lot harder to get right these days. Or you can choose the third path, becoming a trusted source of knowledge. And this is the most powerful strategy of them all, and we're about to see exactly why. So this huge shift in traffic has completely rewired the way your customer thinks. Seriously. The path from I want that to I'm buying that now has this new, super important detour that, honestly, most businesses just completely miss. It used to be so simple, right? You'd see an ad, go to the store, and buy the thing. Done. But now there's this critical step wedged right in the middle. Research. Before a customer even thinks about pulling out their wallet, they are online, they're asking questions, they're comparing all their options, and they're looking for answers. This research phase, this is the new battleground. And it's not a one-way street anymore. It's a constant feedback loop. After a customer buys your product, uses it, and then reviews it, that review becomes the ammo for the next customer's research. So every single sale you make today is basically marketing for all of your sales tomorrow. And this is exactly where that third traffic source, knowledge content, becomes your secret weapon. By creating content that answers the very questions your customers are asking during their research, you meet them right where they are. You become their trusted guide, building up all this authority and rapport long before they even see a price tag. All right, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now it's time for the prescription. The right strategy for you really depends on just one thing: how much competition you're up against. We can break it down into three pretty distinct levels. Look, if you're in a low competition space, you might be able to get by just posting your stuff and selling it. But as things start to heat up, your focus has to shift over to reviews and social proof. And if you're in a really crowded market, there's only one sustainable way to avoid those price wars: building a powerful personal brand. For those of you in that middle tier, remember that not all reviews are created equal. You can start with screenshots of praise. That's good. It's even better when a customer posts about you on their own social media feed. But the holy grail? A video review. That is authentic, powerful social proof. And the ultimate level, of course, is getting an influencer endorsement. The goal is to just constantly be climbing this ladder of authenticity. But what about those of you in the most crowded markets? In that case, even great reviews aren't quite enough. You need something more. You've got to unlock the secret to charging a premium and making price just an afterthought. And this, my friends, is the experience economy. In a world that is just overflowing with options, the scarcest thing we have is human attention. If you can capture and hold that attention, you can literally create value out of thin air. That's why viral trends and compelling stories are so profitable. They command the one thing that everyone wants more of. Take coffee, for example. You can sell raw beans as a commodity for pennies. Or you could package them nicely as a product and charge a little more. You could brew it for someone as a service and charge even more. Or you can wrap the whole thing in an experience, like Starbucks does, and command a premium price for what is, at its core, the exact same cup of coffee. So, what is this experience thing really? Well, it bypasses all logic and goes straight for the heart. It's the trust, the connection, the sense of belonging a customer feels with your brand. When people buy an experience, they aren't just buying a thing, they're buying a feeling. And you can't put a discount on a feeling. So let's bring this all together.
How do you actually sell this priceless experience? You shift your focus from selling a product to building a brand, and specifically a personal brand that people can actually connect with.
The framework is so simple, but it is so profound. Like, trust, support. First, you create content that lets people get to know and actually like the person behind the brand. Then, using that knowledge content we talked about, you consistently provide value and you build trust. And once that foundation of like and trust is there, the support just follows naturally. People aren't just buying a product anymore, they're buying from you. It's kind of like a bottle of water. A generic bottle costs $1. A bottle from a luxury brand could cost $50. Is the water inside 50 times better? Of course not. It's often the exact same water. The only difference is the brand, the story, the perceived status, the entire experience that's wrapped around a simple product. So the ultimate takeaway is this. Stop focusing so much on your product and your price. Instead, I want you to ask yourself, what is the unique experience that only I can provide? Define that, build your brand around it, and you'll find that those price negotiations, they simply fade away.